Hello, viewers. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to Tendo Teens Hub, and I am your host, Lindah Kiranda. And today, with me on the studio, I have a guest. He's going to introduce himself and he's going to tell us what he does. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you. Hello, viewers who are watching this. My name is Regan. I am a student at Moy University, a first-year student. I'm pursuing financial economics, and I am a born-again Christian, and I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, welcome to the show, guys. So, Regan, today we are going to discuss about peer pressure. And I wanted to ask you, what do you understand about peer pressure? What is peer pressure to you?
So, peer pressure to me is that influence that you allow your friends to have on you, or your family, or just anyone around you. That influence that your surrounding has on you, that pushes you to do things that you knew you could do, or some things that you actually never imagined yourself doing.
So, I'm going to ask you a few questions, and I would kindly request that you are frank with us and share your experiences with other teams. So, the first question will be: do you spend a lot of time wondering what your classmates and friends and other people think about you? If so, why?
Occasionally, I tend to find myself wondering what other people are seeing, or what they actually think about me. Not that I'm usually very insecure about it, but I've been taught that by your fruits, you're actually known. So your fruits, if for instance, the way that I've said I'm a born again Christian, so I tend to wonder, what fruits am I showing out there? Am I really portraying that image of a Christian as I should be, or am I just saying it for the sake? So most of the times I find myself wondering, just to be able to gauge whether I'm actually selling the right image, or am I going astray with my actions.
Okay, and regarding that, you said you're born again.
Yes.
So, do you, in your circle, are all your friends born again, or you have other friends who are not born again?
I have a lot of friends. Some of them, of course, are born again, most of them, and some few of them are not born again. They're of different religions, others are just not born again.
So, do they have, the ones who are not born again, do they have an influence on you?
Yeah, they have a slight influence, but it is up to us. There are some things that they can influence me to do, but then there are some that I just cannot, because it goes against what I believe as a Christian.
So, the second question is: have you ever felt pressure from your friends to do something you didn't want to do or thought was wrong?
Yes, the type of pressure that I've faced from friends is actually, there are like types of peer pressure. The one that I've faced the most is silent peer pressure.
Mm-hmm.
The one that because all of your friends are doing, you also want to do.
Yeah.
Not that anybody has come and told you, Regan, cheki kuna venye tunafanya hivi, kama ufanye na sisi, no. It is that one that you're looking at all of your peers.
Through observation.
Yeah, through observation, you're looking at your peers, the way that they're dressing, the things that they're doing, and you feel pressured, like, since all of my age mates are doing this, I guess I should also do it.
You don't want to be left out.
Yeah, you don't want to be left out.
Wow. So, what do you think you would do if you were in a situation where you were being pressured into something? Now, for example, you're given us an example like you're seeing your friends are dressing in a certain way. What if you can't afford, or your parents don't allow you to dress in a certain way? So, what would you do in that situation?
So what I do in the situation is, first of all, appreciate myself. It all comes down to the way that you view yourself. Since most of us tend to fall into peer pressure because we are seeking approval from our peers, approval from our friends, that is why we end up doing things that we never imagined ourselves we would be doing. So the way that I'd handle that is actually get to appreciate the little that I have. Yeah.
Okay. So another question is: do you have a friend who will challenge you to do the right thing regardless of the situation? Do you have that one friend?
Yes, I have that one friend.
who would, regardless of any situation, he would challenge you to do the right thing.
Yes.
That is awesome. So where do you go the most to get advice on how to deal with peer pressure?
Usually I tend to pray, and then after praying I seek for counsel from our youth pastor or from some of my older friends who have been in a similar situation and have been able to triumph over it.
Do you talk to how about your parents?
Not that often.
Do you discuss issues, like, for example, if you encountered bullying in school, would you talk to them about it? Are you open with them?
I'm open, but not too much. I say things selectively. Some issues I discuss with them. Others I feel more comfortable if I share it with my brother or some friends from outside.
Okay. So, are the things that are cool with your classmates and your friends cool with the values that you are taught?
For some of my friends, those values click where the values that I was taught, they also were taught the same
You
things,
share
so
the
they
same
or they believe in the same things. But for some, we're in a clash. It's not exactly the same.
So, are you doing anything right now to prepare yourself for the pressure you'll face? Like right now, the way you are in university now, and I know in university there's pressure.
Yeah.
Are you doing anything right now to prepare yourself for the pressure you'll face in university? Because university is not the same as secondary.
Yes, so one thing that I've realized is it becomes a lot easier to work towards something once you get to understand what is it exactly that you want. Since if you have a goal in life and you're ready to do anything for it, you cannot easily be distracted. So right now I'm trying to understand what is it exactly I want so that I can avoid wasting a lot of time trying so many things. So I'm just trying to get my goals in order, trying to understand what I want so that I can be able to give it all of my energy.
And how are you preparing yourself? Are you going for counseling? Are you attending any youth meeting so that you are taught?
I'm seeking advice from
Yeah.
people who have been in campus and have graduated well, from also our youth pastor. Yeah.
So have they told you how university life is?
Yes.
And are you ready for it? Have you prepared your mind for it?
Yeah, my mind is ready, and I'm just praying that God walks the journey with me.
Okay. So which of your friends do you feel the most pressure from, and which of your friends do you feel the least pressure from?
The least pressure would come from mostly my younger friends, since I've already passed through whatever they've passed through, so I usually don't feel a lot of pressure to try to do whatever they're doing. And then the most pressure comes from, I think that one will be people who are actually within my circle. Whenever you see they've achieved something, you also feel challenged to do the same.
That is your age.
Yeah, my age mates.
How about the people who are older than you?
For people older than me, I usually comfort myself with the fact that they're older, they have more experience.
Okay. So is it more important to be liked or to just be yourself, even if that means losing friends?
I feel like it is more important to just be yourself, because there's that peace that you get when you know you're doing something and it is you originally, you're not copying anybody else. There's that inner peace that you get. You can't get that from being cool yet you're not okay with yourself.
So are you okay if you are considered cool, if you are not considered cool, and why or why not? Are you okay if you are not considered cool? Why or why not?
So for me, it depends with what their opinion of cool is. If being cool goes along with my personal beliefs in Christ and all of my principles, then I wouldn't mind being called cool. But if being cool means that I have to lose myself in the process, then then definitely there's no need for me to be the coolest guy, yet I have lost myself. it becomes totally pointless. So it is usually better to stick to who I am, whether I'm cool or not.
So, have you created an image of yourself for others to see that is not the real you? If so, what is that image and why did you do so?
Yes, I have before.
Yes.
Um,
When was this?
around Form 2. Yeah, since when I joined high school, I joined and I was able to become a CU prefect a little bit afterwards, around term 2, term 3 there.
Well, I see you prefect.
I used
Praise the Lord.
I used to be.
Yes.
So there was this expectation of what everybody wanted me to become,
Yeah.
because you're CU prefect, you can't be doing this, you can't. So you had to like fit into that image. And so I ended up creating an image for everybody to see what I was doing, blah blah blah, all those things.
So you created like a perfect.
Yes, a perfect image, even though I had my own flaws. But then I thank God, because a little bit afterwards, I came to be able to fit within the image that I had initially created as I came to know Christ better.
So initially, you had created this image, but there's things you are struggling with, correct?
Yes.
But now, as you grew now in knowing God more in your personal relationship with Christ, you actually became more like Christ now. You fitted into that image you had
Yes.
earlier created.
Yeah.
Wow, that is amazing. So what does it mean for you to be yourself?
So for me to be myself, if I am asked, it is actually the same as being asked who is Regan. So for me to be me, it is a lot of positive energy, and all this is being positive because you know that God has everything in control. It is just trusting God day in, day out for everything, regardless of how things may seem impossible and all those things. And also being me means you have principles. There's some things that you can do, there's some that you cannot. You've drawn a line, you've put boundaries in place.
Wow, that is amazing. So what is the final word you can advise anything out there who is going through maybe peer pressure issues, or they're just going through adolescent stage? What is your advice to anything out there?
To anything out there, my advice is appreciate yourself the way that you are, whether people are saying you're looking imperfect, or you're too short, you're too tall. Learn to love yourself the way that you are, and you'll avoid a lot of pressures that will push you to negative places. Stop trying to seek approval from everyone, because you cannot really make everyone happy.
Yeah.
Seek approval from people that actually matter to you, such as your parents, your own approval, and of course approval from God.
So is it possible for a teen to grow in the word of God and to grow in an upright way until now where you are, like university, without disturbing their parents, without being a difficult teen? Is it possible?
Yes, it is possible to grow without being difficult to your parents. It is actually your own self conviction that changes everything. Because if you live your life seeking approval from all the wrong places, you'll find yourself, you're pressuring your parents too much, you're sneaking out. But if you come to love yourself the way that you are,
Yes.
and then you understand your goals, probably if you're doing it for 4, that one is your KCSE or your KCPE,
Yeah.
and you focus towards excelling there, you won't really have a lot of issues with your parents, your
Yes.
friends. You'll just have a quiet and simple life.
Wow. Guys, you have heard it from Regan. It has been an amazing session. I hope the teens out there have learned something, and it is possible to live a godly life even as a teen. Thank you guys for joining us today. Kindly like, subscribe, and share. And if you have any questions, get back to us on tender.teenshub@gmail.com. Thank you so much, guys. Until next time, bye.